Hi, my name's Cody Ricks. Today I'm going to be speaking about the types of evidence you'll want to bring with you to your Social Security disability hearing. Before I start, I just want to let you know that my disability firm helps Social Security disability applicants in all 50 states and U.S. territories. If you're interested in a free consultation, call the number on the screen now. There's never a fee until we win your case. Okay, let's talk about evidence. The type of evidence that you are going to want most of in your file is objective evidence. And what I mean by that is information that can be proven by measurements, things of that nature. For example, blood work, any labs you've had done at the hospital, x-rays, MRI, CT scans, all of these things are going to be really important to have in your file. You know, it's going to be hard for you when you walk into your hearing to successfully prove to the judge you have associated symptoms of pain or maybe chronic fatigue if you don't have this type of medical evidence in your file. So just be aware of that. Okay, moving on. Next, I would strongly recommend submitting any past medical records involving past surgeries you may have had. Even if these surgeries were prior to the date you're alleging disability for, they are, in my opinion, still very important because they, one, provide a medical history of significant problems, and two, there are some medical conditions that are degenerative in nature, such as problems with your back. And so sometimes, even now, it may be years later, that an injury happened, it may be inferred that your condition has gradually gotten worse since that time, basically. Especially if you have old objective evidence like x-rays or MRIs, and that's the importance of keeping your medical records over the years. Okay, next. If you've had an inpatient stay at a mental health hospital for any reason, it's going to be critical that you get that information to the judge as soon as possible. I've done a lot of cases like these guys, and honestly, if you are trying to get Social Security disability benefits solely based on a mental health condition like depression or schizophrenia, this is the type of information the judge is going to be looking for, along with counseling and therapy notes. I understand this information is going to be really sensitive, but I just need to stress the importance of actually getting that into the record. Just know that information will be kept confidential in the court record. It is not an open record proceeding like other types. We just do need to know about that type of information as representatives so we can best help you. Something else, in my opinion, that's extremely helpful to walk into the courtroom with is what we call a treating source statement. And that's going to be a letter or a form completed by anybody treating you for one of your medical problems. This could be a doctor, a physical therapist, a chiropractor, a psychiatrist, counselor, whoever is willing to help is helpful. Now, these forms are going to be specific to each type of case, these forms and letters, so make sure you speak to your representative about how to address that. Obviously, a doctor's opinion is going to hold more weight than that of a physician's assistant or a nurse practitioner, but their opinions are still incredibly helpful because they are still medical experts. Anyone willing to state their opinion is helpful, honestly. Okay, lastly, I think it's always important in these types of cases for claimants to attend what's called the vocational rehabilitation program. And when I normally make that suggestion to most people, they don't know what I'm talking about, so let me just explain what that is. Voc Rehab is a special program through the state that offers individual job training. For example, they'll take somebody in and they will teach them how to be a welder, and then they will help that person in a job placement. But oftentimes, I will send clients down to Voc Rehab. They'll do an initial assessment of their physical and their mental abilities, and their vocational counselor will come back and say, there really are no jobs in the national economy that you can perform because of your limitations. And I'm sure you can see how helpful that kind of information could be in terms of these types of cases. That's all for the types of evidence that you will definitely want for your Social Security hearing. Thanks for watching. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Rick's Disability Aid on YouTube. We'll see you next time.